understand from each other. And that's also a learning experience, how to work together with people that are maybe not technical, but are policy or legal, etc., etc. So that's an important part. And of course, you have to produce something. So you have to come up with a ideally practical idea. During the course, we will explain it a bit further, but the idea is in the end that that we form teams that work on a concept of a challenge, and then we ask everybody to make a short, maximum 3-minute video to explain the solution. And then we have judging taking place. And at some point, we have the best team of each of the challenges. We normally would like to try to present 5 challenges, so you can pick one of the 5 in the end. That's the idea. So we have lectures and we have challenges, but what we also have in between is a serious game. And the serious game will be on how to make India more cyber resilient. The game itself is not only nice to play, and it brings quite some knowledge, because while playing you need to be aware of what you're doing. There's a lot of input there that you can learn from, but it is also important in terms of the fact that at the end of the lecture series, for those students that followed at least 75% of the lectures and played the game, they get a certificate. I think that's important. The other one is that when you as a team wrapped up a challenge, you'll get a certificate as well. So there's potentially the possibility to have 2 certificates while joining the school. The school is, well, almost free. It's very low cost, I think. But you'll get lectures from all over the world, and with really high level academics and practitioners. I think I'll stay here.
Michelle, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Michelle.
Okay, Dr. Sriram, please, the floor is yours. If you want to fill in some extra things, please.
Yeah. I think, Michelle, you covered it really well, and that shows through all the way your experience in conducting this. And actually, Indo-Dutch Cybersecurity School has been a wonderful partnership between the Cybersecurity Center of Excellence and Hague Center for Strategic Studies, and all the other partners like the Embassy of Netherlands, Municipality of The Hague, Telangana government, the SCI, all of these people are there. So we've brought to you an eclectic set of topics handpicked and put together, because one of the things is these are the ones for which we commonly get a lot of queries at Cybersecurity Center of Excellence. Why don't we hold on this? Why don't we hold on that topic? And so on. So we decided to put all of them, string all of them together, and anyone attending this 1 month approximately of this school would get a very good overview of the whole thing. And if he does the challenges and all, then he would get a very good certificate, which will hold value, saying that he is up to one level. And then he can dive deep into any one of those areas and make it a career. That is most welcome to do that. In fact, this is to pick or trigger your interest in this domain. Okay, so we have, as Michelle had mentioned, the speakers are people of repute. They are very good. They have a very good standing in the industry, from the academia and all, and they have a great deal of expertise there. So feel free to ask any questions at the Q&A session of each session, and also any reference material that may be there. And we will try and make things as much open as possible, in the sense, if supposing we are to share some of the links to the slides or other stuff, we can fully or give reference material. We can always do that. And this is a pretty open session, and we're really leveraging the expertise from Netherlands and from India, both ways. But there are so many things to learn from each other. For example, privacy. These laws have come in Netherlands or in Europe, rather GDPR, several years ago. Whereas in India, it is launched just last year, and the rules are still being formed. Okay. So in the sense that a lot to learn there. India has a high growth rate. It is a developing country, can take the best of breed technologies and leapfrog. So that is there. So in every area, we strive to seek what is the best. Like UPI is, for example, a good example of homegrown technology. It's growing to digital public infrastructure, which means that it's going to go mainstream in a very big way, which means cybersecurity will and privacy will become all the more important. So yeah, welcome to the Indo-Dutch Cybersecurity School, and we'll be holding. I mean, please do attend the inaugural. That's one of the most important kickstarts to the entire thing, and then the classes which will go on thereafter. Kindly do not miss any classes, and please see that your help we seek in terms of reaching out, the registration date, the deadline, and before that, get as many of your friends registered as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sriram. And I think what might be useful, well, if you look in the chat, of course, you'll find the link to the website. Maybe even Stephanie, you could just show it, maybe do screening it, so that everybody is a bit familiar already with how the website looks like. Is that an option?
Yep, sure.
Okay,
I can share my
please.
screen. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Is that working?
Yes, I can.
Yes, you can see your screen.
Great. Well, if you go to the HCSS websites, we have the Indo-Dutch Cybersecurity School 2024 under services, and basically gives you a bunch of information that you need to be prepared for this course. So the lecture program you can find here. This will show you when the lectures are, what they're on, timestamps, everything throughout the weeks, when the inaugural is, when the closing ceremony is, etc. So that's here, but we will also be sending Eventbrite emails to everyone that has registered via Eventbrite and also via the India side for registrations, emails, reminders about when lectures are happening so you guys can stay on track. There's also a challenge button here where we will be posting the challenges for the challenge period. So coming soon, they're not there yet, but we are finalizing them. Intro video, register button, but it's important. This website only gives you the registrations if you are a non-Indian student. So if you are an Indian student, there is the Indian side registration form to use, and that information is also easy to find from the Cybersecurity Center of Excellence website, social media, etc. Yeah, program, you can also find it here. More info on the game. Sorry, guys, if your mics aren't muted, please mute them because it's very distracting for everybody else. So please check that your mics are muted. Thank you. Okay, great. More info on the game, and then the lectures as well. So you can see what all the different lecture topics are on the websites, and more coming soon. And then we also have an FAQ at the end of the websites where a lot of frequently asked questions are put, or you can find a lot of your answers. So I think that is it in a nutshell. You can find a lot of information there, but also be checking our LinkedIn, Twitter, social media accounts, and also the CCOE LinkedIn and Twitter accounts. And it's also very important to follow this YouTube channel because this is where we will be posting this recording of the Q&A session, the inaugural, the closing ceremony, all the lectures that you guys can watch back, and then also the challenge videos. We used to post them on the HCSS YouTube channel before, but now we have a Cybersecurity School YouTube channel for this specifically. So those are two important links that you guys should keep referring to. I think that's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Stephanie. And I think it's On the videos, I think for not all, but for I think many of the lecturers, they are also there, huh? Also from previous schools. So I think it's anyway a good source if you like to prepare yourself already a bit. Then you might just spend a bit of time on that one and just browse a bit on the topics that will be addressed. Yeah, so I think we have excellent speakers from all over the world, of course, from the Netherlands, but also from the US and other places, and of course from India, from South Africa probably as well. So it's quite a broad range of excellent lecturers. Yeah, what I think is still important to also understand is that the team, being Sai Prakash, Berend Kwak, and Stephanie Googaerts, is that most of the information is there anyway. So please first try to find the answer before starting asking questions, especially when you were 5,000. Then there will be a bit of burden, but most of the frequently asked questions will probably answer your questions anyway. I think that's important. We will, I think, also regularly explain the next lecturer. So by the time that there's a lecture, you will be informed of the next lecturer, a bit of background information, that kind of thing. So, and ideally would be nice if you find a time that you see a certain topic being addressed, that you might already dig in a bit and maybe just Google around and find out a bit, so that you're a little bit prepared of what you could expect from the lecture, because that will you'll better understand it maybe, or be prepared a bit. A warning is, this is not a school where you learn to code software. Sometimes some people think it's a school where you learn to code software or cybersecurity software related stuff. That's not the case.
Michel, you're muted again. Sorry, I don't know why this keeps happening. Please unmute.
So so it's not in this sense technical and not coding, but I guarantee you, given the experience the last 5 years or 6 years, that that you will learn a lot because of the various angles to cybersecurity that even I myself often still are, surprised again of a new topic and say, oh damn, we're not aware that this was also the case in this way. So I think that's quite useful to, even if you're having some experience, of course, already in cybersecurity, you might still be might still be surprised, maybe even, and learn still a lot. I think there are 1 or 2 hands raised. Even kijken. Some of the questions I think are maybe already answered or being answered right away in the chat. There are no formal prerequisites for joining the school. So indeed, it is for both beginners and more advanced. But I think you have to be enthusiastic. That's a requirement. But we also noticed, of course, that it is sometimes a bit demanding because it's after your normal curriculum or normal workday. But we can guarantee you that the speakers that we have are excellent. So I think it's worthwhile putting in the effort. And I definitely want to invite you to that. I think that another one, maybe also Berend and or Stephanie could join in the discussion here, is that we will pay a little bit more attention to also after the school making you alumni. So either to inform you, to upkeep the contacts if possible, and we'll do that via LinkedIn. So maybe Stephanie you can also share the LinkedIn for alumni at some point. That would be nice. And there's a question with regard to registration costs. It is I think for the Indian students, at least a small amount of money. I'm not sure how much it is. It's not completely free of charge, but a little bit. For the people from Europe, it is, we don't charge any money yet. So I think that's still possible. Yeah, a question of cyber and AI. Yes, that will be one of the lectures, ideally. Yeah, for sure. And I can recommend also the serious game, because that's where you have to be proactive yourself. You could either play it a couple of times for a couple of minutes, or if you really want to dig in, you can play it for hours. And I guarantee you there's a lot to learn from that game as well. Are there any other kind of questions? You can either raise your voice or put it in the chat, or maybe Dr. Srirang or Sai or Berend can chip in something that I forgot to address. IoT, there's a question on IT and OT security standards. I think good question.
Yes,
I don't know by heart.
we have a session on OT and IIoT this time as well.
I think so. Yes. Yeah. Super. Yeah. Okay. What additional benefits from knowledge can we gain? Well, what we hope, and we're still working on that one, is that you, of course, you might qualify or be better qualified for a potential career in cyber. What we hope for, maybe that some of the challenges hopefully provided by companies might be a trigger for the companies, if they see there's a team that really performs well, to connect and to maybe even provide it. And it's not my responsibility, let's say it like that, but to provide internships possibilities, or maybe trainings as well. And that's another thing when we cannot promise yet, but we're working on, you should know that we are working on a what's being called accelerator program. And that means that the best of class might have the opportunity, also have to be selected for that, to then follow that accelerator program. That might take a half year. So that would basically mean that you will be trained much more and more in depth. But we hopefully know that probably halfway the school. So that would be another opportunity or another gain. So that is something that we work on, indeed. So what else? Can we expect reading material? Depends a bit, I think, on the lecturers. Some might be able and willing to provide some lecture reading materials. It is useful anyway, but also giving the topics, you probably will easily find some reading materials anyway. But this is something that also for our South African Netherlands cybersecurity school we're gonna work on. So and this is something that we will definitely take up and see what is possible. Can we get to know more about the serious game? Yes, you can. It's normally in smaller teams, it's a tabletop exercise where we use the scenario of India at this point in time. So whatever you know about cyber resilience of India, you can take with you. And then we challenge you to think about what kind of capabilities are necessary to make India even more cyber resilient. We will explain, of course, during the course. You will play it 3 times in 3 stages. So in every stage we'll explain a bit, and then you have time to, of course, play play the game, and it's not individually, but also you can also learn from each other. So if you start playing a certain card, a capability.
You're muted again, Michel. Sorry, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I did. It happens automatically. I don't know why. I don't touch the screens. But so you could not only play it yourself, but you can also argument and counter argument with the other players playing the same card or different cards. So you can also learn from each other in that way. Any other questions that I should address?
I see someone has their hand up, or two people have their hands up. Michel, if you would like to.
Harshit, I think you're number one, and then Def K, number two. Harshit, please go ahead. Unmute.
Hello.
And ask your question.
Hello, am I audible to you?
Okay,
Hello.
go ahead.
Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Sir, I have already registered to 3 months back Hackathon plus Indo-Dutch cybersecurity. So will it be okay for the same, or do I need to register again?
No, Harshit, you are already registered.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Next question. I don't see any hands.
Sorry to interrupt, Professor, but I have a very small question. What is our expectation at the end of the specific course?
Sorry, I cannot hear you. There's background noise. Can you maybe repeat or put it in the chat? Well, there's a question with regard to planning an MS specialization in cybersecurity. Will this make it easier for me to gain admission? Yeah, good question. I don't know. I'm not the one deciding on that one, but I guess that following this school brings you up to speed at least on the various concepts that are important in cybersecurity. So in that sense, it might help a bit, I guess. Are we able to do case studies? Yes, you do. That's what we call the challenge, actually. Are there any prerequisites? No, not per se. But it always helps, of course, if you prepare yourself a bit on the topic at hand, and that we will advertise the lectures, of course, in time. So if you find time, then you can just already look a bit what it is all about, and prepare you a little bit. But it's not so that we see that the lectures will be so complex that you cannot follow it from the start. You should be able to follow it from the start. There was this question about the expectations at the end of the course. Well, I think I already explained it a bit. I think you'll be having a broader view presented on what cyber could entail, what's all about, but also the various career paths maybe that you could pursue, and maybe, but because we also know that some of the students are interested in just following the course to make a decision whether they should start studying in more depth cybersecurity, I think. Do we get hands-on experience with penetration testing? No, you're not. That's not what we are going to provide you with. Even kijken. Other questions. How many tools are used? Well, basically there are no tools used besides the serious game. The other thing what we didn't explain yet is that at the end of every lecture day, we have a little quiz. So we'll ask you some questions per lecturer to keep you sharp, but also test yourself a bit on whether you picked it up what is being lectured. So I think that's also nice. So that is you could.
Michelle, you're muted again.
Anything. So we'll do cryptography. Yes, there will be a lecture on cryptography indeed. And the criteria for getting a certificate is that we want you to follow 75% of the lectures and the series game. We will register that because we can see that you logged in. And of course, just logging in and doing something different is not the way we expect you to join the course and getting a certificate. Will there be another meeting before the kickoff? Well, the kickoff, as we call it, the inaugural, will be on the Friday, the 11th of October. Am I right? Yes, I think 11th. Where we have, at least we know that we have the ambassador of the Netherlands. We have the cyber ambassador of the Netherlands, and we have some other dignitaries also from India. I think, Sai, you know by heart who already agreed to be in the inaugural.
Yes, Michelle. So for the inaugural ceremony, we'll be having the IT minister from Telangana government, and also Jayesh Ranjan Garu, who is the special chief secretary for IT and C department. And also we are going to have MU Nair Garu, like who is the national cybersecurity coordinator. And we'll also have Ramadevi Lanka, who is the director for emerging technologies, Telangana government. And we are also having one more leader from MIT in the inaugural ceremony.
Thank you so much. So by hearing the titles of these people, you see that a lot of attention is given from very important people to this course. So and that works two ways. They think it's very important, but also expect you all to be successful and try to follow as much as possible. So the course is also sponsored by big time by both the Netherlands and the Indian government activity. So I think it's also good to acknowledge that that money is spent and effort is spent to make this a success. So we hope that everybody joins, is active, and participates also in the challenges, which would be great, of course, especially when there are teams that really stand out and make really nice contributions to solutions that are being asked for each and every challenge. Any other questions?
I see two more hands up, Michelle, one from Shinmei and one from Harshit again.
Okay, Shinmei then first, and then Harshit second.
Shinmei, can you unmute yourself?
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Myself Chinmay. Good evening to all of you. I'm here to asking that what are the total or overall learning outcomes that are what are the overall outcomes of that specific course?
What do you mean with outcomes?
Yeah, I am asking about the overall outcomes of that specific course.
I'm not sure that I understand the question. Maybe someone else does.
Yes, Michelle. So basically, this Indo-Dutch cybersecurity school will give you a complete exposure, like, what actually cybersecurity is and what are the different niche areas that cybersecurity has, like security operations center, identity and access management, and privacy. And this year, if you can see, we have came up with, lots of interesting topics along with, modules. We'll be having more than 10 plus lectures on the foundation topics of cybersecurity, like network security, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing, and also IoT security and etc. And apart from this, we are also having an entire module on privacy and digital forensics, where we'll be talking about what is privacy, what are the different privacy laws that are in place right now, with respect to the international governments and also in India. And apart from that, we are also having sessions on digital forensics, like how this cyber law and also cyber law, what are the different cyber laws that are in place, and how this digital investigations are being done, and from the very own search and seizure to investigating and analysis. And also we are having lectures on emerging technologies as well, like quantum computing and cyber security, and AI and cyber security, automotive security, OT and IIoT security, etc. So this entire 20 plus lectures will give you an complete 360-degree knowledge of what cybersecurity is and what are the different areas, and also it will help you to also give you a better understanding of like which specific domain or area you need to choose in order to start your career in this field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
is there any scope of cloud security available or not?
Sorry?
Cloud
Is
security?
I am asking that, is there any scope of cloud security is available or not?
No, we don't have any session this year on cloud security.
Okay, okay, sir. Thanks.
Okay. Hashid, still in question or not?
I don't see their hand raised anymore.
No. Okay. 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 Looking at the clock, we have still 2-3 minutes to go. At least for my calendar, I need to at some point go to another meeting, but I guess we have explained, I think, quite a lot. Any last questions?
I see one at the bottom, Michelle. Is there a possibility to learn any theoretical things?
Oh yeah, for sure. All the lectures have a theoretical element to it. Yes, absolutely.
Also, it's important to mention, guys, that this recording will also be posted on the Cyber School's YouTube channel. I will share the link again in the chat. So if you came late to this meeting, or if you missed something or something got disconnected, you can watch this video back. But also most of the answers to your questions will be on the website, in the program part of the website, in the FAQ part of the website. So please do take a close look at that.
Yeah, and Stephanie, did you already share the alumni LinkedIn account or not?
We don't have one yet, so I'm going to make one and share it via email to
Okay.
everyone.
Okay, great, good. Dr. Sriram, any last famous remarks from your side?
I think it's going very good. I see the energy, palpable one, lot of enthusiasm, and also excellent commentary and answering the queries, really. Michelle,
Sriram
Stephanie,
sir,
and all. Yes, tell me.
we have one question in the chat from Pranjal Saraswat. Maybe you can take this. I'll read
Yeah,
out the question for you.
okay.
Are we also going to differentiate different cyber capabilities that India had, and what type of capabilities are going to be necessary, that is to tackle a digital threat or cyber warfare in terms of national security, by taking reference of different countries' cyber capabilities?
We're not exactly doing a comparative study or all of those, but they will come during the course of the lectures. For example, we have DPDP Act, say privacy, they will touch upon because they are here, right? I mean, the speakers are from here. They will touch upon those aspects for sure. And also all the other lectures also, one on IIT, IIoT lectures, we've told them that please do mention that what are the things that are there, because obviously many of the people from India are seeking jobs here in India, and they would like to know how it progresses. And I'll also urge you to attend the inaugural, in which there is this whole there are sessions on India's cybersecurity landscape and Netherlands cybersecurity landscape and so on. So it's a vast and growing field, both cybersecurity and privacy, and you'll get an excellent flavor of the whole thing by going, when really essentially attending all the lectures. You'll learn a lot and you'll be able to explore also on your own. But we will be touching those aspects of what India's capabilities are, and this in these areas,
Okay. Thanks. I have to go, actually, to be honest. But so I have to log out. But I definitely look forward to everybody joining, and please advertise under your friends and networks to also ask them to join, because the more the merrier. So and I wish you a lot of good learnings, and I think also fun, actually, during the course. Thank you so much, all.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Michelle.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Okay, I guess we can wrap it up. Hi, Prakash and Stephanie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we can. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining and answering the queries.
Right.
Thank you, guys. Again, a lot of the information can be found on the website, on DSCI's website for registering, on CCOE, Cybersecurity Center for Excellence website for registering for Indian students, and then on the HCSS account for non-Indian students for registering. I've shared the YouTube link. I've shared a bunch of important links in here, so go back to them, look at them, and I'm sure all your questions will be answered. So good luck, and we'll be in touch. See you at the inaugural. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. All the best.
Thank you. Bye.